Osrc News at 7. Governor Ayedatiwa salutes state's 50-year journey, vows steadfast legacy building for accelerated development. Tinubu leaders praise Ondo's resilience, urge unity on 50th anniversary. DSS arraigns Malami's son for terrorism financing, firearms possession. And from the foreign scene, U.S.-Colombia tensions threaten decades of security, business ties. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the flagship news, Osrc News. My name is Odunayo Sawyer, and congratulations to Ondo State on its 58th anniversary. And after its creation, Ondo State stands as a product of deliberate governance, evolving leadership, and steady institutional growth. As the state marks its golden jubilee, our correspondent, Kunle Ariyo, takes a look at the trajectory from creation to consolidation.
By the military government of General Murtala Ramat Mohammed joined Nigeria's major state creation exercise aimed at decentralizing power and accelerating development. Akure was designated the capital, and Group Captain David Ekpeme was appointed the pioneer military governor, tasked with building a state from the ground up. At inception, Ondo State ran a rudimentary but effective administrative system. Key ministries such as education, works, health, and finance functioned around Obade Shida Road, the old secretariat area, and other temporary locations, while the civil service relied heavily on Western State administrative templates.
Akure was a small town, small provincial town. The only official offices that we had was the provincial headquarters office. And with the sort of movement we had to take people from the Ibadan there, it became very difficult to find where we would, first of all, have offices, lodge people. So we had to convert the garages, any little place we saw, into offices. And then, what accommodation, moving all the workers from Ibadan, where there were no houses. So what we did was, I told the indigenous, the official workers that, look, some of you live around towns and villages around Akure. Why don't you stay in your family houses and come to work?
This improvisation ensured stability and laid the foundation for a disciplined public service. For 20 years, Ondo State also administered present-day Ekiti State, significantly expanding its bureaucratic scope and strengthening its institutional capacity before Ekiti's creation in 1996. The transition to civil rule in 1979 marked a critical ideological phase. Pa Adekunle Ajashin, Ondo State's first elected civilian governor, introduced a governance philosophy rooted in free education, accountability, and moral leadership. His administration entrenched education as state policy, producing human capital that would sustain Ondo State's development long after its tenure. Ondo State also had its dose in the nation's military incursion, with Commander Bamidele Otiko, Ohaya Higbe, Ode George, Ahmed Usman, Abiodun Olukoya, Onyang Bolem, and Moses Fasonya serving as administrators between 1983 till May 1999. With the return of democracy in 1999, the state entered a phase of democratic consolidation. Chief Adebayo Adeforati stabilized governance after years of military rule, while Dr. Olusegun Agagun strengthened infrastructure, education, and public institutions, deepening administrative efficiency. Urban and social transformation accelerated under Governor Olusegun Mimiko, whose people-centered policies reshaped healthcare delivery, education, and Akure's urban layout. Major road expansions and renewal projects gave the capital a more modern character. The trajectory shifted further under the late Oluwarotimi Akeredolu SAN, whose administration prioritized security architecture, institutional reforms, and assertive governance, repositioning Ondo State as a covenant subnational entity.
Solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me.
Today, the consolidation phase is being driven by Governor Loki Ayedatiwa, having emerged from within the system as Deputy Governor. His leadership has focused on stability, continuity, and incremental growth. Traffic modernization in Akure, strengthening security, agricultural expansion, and inclusive governance define this phase of the state's journey. From a state built with borrowed offices and improvised ministries to a mature subnational government with defined institutions, Ondo State's journey reflects deliberate progress. 50 years on, the trajectory is clear. Creation, stabilization, expansion, reform, and consolidation. Ondo State at 15, a journey still unfolding. Kunle Abiyo, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has celebrated the state's Golden Jubilee with a statewide broadcast that blended historical reflection and a call for renewed purpose. Marking 50 years since its creation from the old western state in 1976 under General Murtala Muhammad, Aiyedatiwa hailed residents as living testimonies to the Sunshine State's resilience, crediting early patriots for advocacy that unlocked its potential. The report is presented by Blessing Obe.
Land we now proudly call Ondo State.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa paid tribute to predecessors from pioneer administrator Wing Commander Itai Peme to late Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, whose leadership spanned military and civilian eras, fostering progress in education, healthcare, agriculture, and infrastructure.
Let me also use this opportunity to salute all my predecessors, both military and civilian leaders, for their contributions. Group Captain Ita David Ipeme, Brigadier Sunday Esijolomi Toyo, Commander Michael Bamidele Otiko, Navy Captain Michael Ohai Ahigbe, Colonel Ekundayo Opaleye, Commander Bode George, Navy Captain Sunday Abiodun Olukoya, Colonel Mike Torre, Colonel Ahmed Usman, Navy Captain Anthony Oyarbolen, Colonel Moses Fasoya, late Pa Adikunle Ajasin, late Chief Bamidele Olumilua, late Chief Adebayo Adefarati, late Dr. Olusegun Agagu, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, and my immediate predecessor, the late Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu SAN-CON. We shall continue to acknowledge and celebrate their enduring legacies.
Aiyedatiwa noted Ondo State economic roots and its role in birthing Ekiti State and the sacrifices of public servants, traditional rulers, and ordinary citizens who built its foundations and made humble beginnings.
We also acknowledge the quiet heroism of ordinary citizens, market women, artisans, farmers, and transport workers who bore the inconveniences of urban renewal with patience and patriotism. Our traditional rulers and religious leaders were indispensable partners in mobilizing social consensus during these formative years.
Looking ahead, the governor reaffirmed his administration's focus on security, infrastructure, agriculture, youth empowerment, and innovation to consolidate gains.
As we celebrate this Golden Jubilee, our administration remains steadfast in consolidating past gains while pursuing a bold, realistic, and inclusive developmental agenda. We are strengthening our security architecture, investing in critical infrastructure, revitalizing agriculture, expanding healthcare access, empowering youth and women, and fostering an enabling environment for enterprises and innovation.
He spotlighted the state's endowments in minerals, oil, gas, and tourism, urging unity across political lines to create productive, sustainable communities.
My dear people, the next 50 years call for renewal of purpose, unity, innovation, discipline, and faith. Let us therefore recommit ourselves to hard work, civic responsibility, and mutual trust. Let us support the government to continue to advance the frontiers of development of our dear Sunshine State.
Ayedatiwa envisioned the next 50 years as an era of hard work, discipline, and global competitiveness, calling for collective support to build a virile state that works, cares, and upholds the core values. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
And Ondo State's 50th anniversary has reflected on its past, assessment of the present, and bold plans for the future. Guest lecturer and chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, who traced the state's journey from inception to future goals, unveiled a long-term vision titled Our Purpose Reimagined, Agenda 2076. Joy Pius has details.
The public lecture offered a thoughtful review of 5 decades of development and a clear roadmap ahead. Delivering the lecture on Ondo State at 50, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, Professor Taiwo Oyedele, an Ondo State indigene, described the state's early years as a golden foundation, forged by visionary leadership and robust investments in education, public service, and institutions.
Ondo State swiftly earned the well-deserved moniker of having the highest concentration of educated elites in Nigeria. From our classrooms, even in remote villages, came teachers, jurists, economists, artists, engineers, and public servants who serve Nigeria and the world with distinction.
On the present state of affairs, the fiscal policy experts highlighted steady advances in governance, infrastructure, human capital, and economic vitality, calling them clear indicators of the state's ongoing transformation.
Ondo State, in case you don't know, is the state with the least poverty in Nigeria. This is data. This is facts. An undisputable indicator of the state's investment in human capital is our performance on socio-economic metrics. Despite ranking in the bottom 10 states in terms of budget size, Ondo State emerged as the state with the least percentage of its population living in multidimensional poverty in Nigeria. This is not because we are the richest. It is because we care enough to invest in what really matters to our people: education, health, and most importantly, dignity.
Professor Oyedele unveiled Agenda 2076, stressing long-term planning, innovation, fiscal discipline, and inclusive policies as keys to sustainable development and economic resilience. He urged leaders and citizens to build on past achievements, deepen reforms, and unite in elevating Ondo State to a competitive, prosperous sub-national economy.
The latest sub-national Ease of Doing Business report by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBE, shows that Ondo State is not ranked in the top 10, highlighting the urgent need for accelerated reforms in regulatory efficiency, investor facilitation, and digital service delivery, among other 16 indicators used for the evaluation of the ranking. This is an opportunity to set a target to be in the top 5 states on the ease of doing business in Nigeria within the next 5 years. I know we can do it, and we will do it. The future of Ondo State lies in value creation. We must move decisively beyond primary economic activities and over-reliance on federation allocation through number 1, maximizing the blue economy through the deep sea port, fishing and related logistics, solid minerals value chain, establishing an industrial park around bitumen, limestone, and granite extractions, agro-industrial revolution, transforming cocoa to chocolates, establishing refining capacity, and becoming the mining capital of Nigeria. Diversified growth, robust economic growth that aims to grow faster than the national GDP. Ondo State must grow faster than Nigeria.
In her keynote address, President Bola Tinubu's special advisor on energy, Olu Vehejin, spotlighted the president's dedication to unlocking Ondo State's potential, especially through the Ondo State's deep sea ports.
Timber, our palm oil, our bitumen must not continue to leave Ondo State in its raw form. Value addition, whether that's in chocolates, furniture, processed palm derivatives, petroleum products, and petrochemicals, is how we're going to create jobs, generate revenue, and secure dignity for our people.
Lecture participants hailed the session as insightful and inspiring, praising its clear roadmap of the state's history, current realities, and future trajectory. The lecture stresses reflection, policy dialogue, and shared responsibility as Ondo State gears up for its next 50 years. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
We go on a short break, and when we come back, we take more stories on Ondo at 50. And DSS arraigns former AGF Malami for son for alleged terrorism, illegal possession of firearms.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ibẹ̀ ní ilé mi o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé lárugẹ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ilẹ̀ ibi agbébí ni tàbí tá a fi ṣe bí ìjòkó jẹ́bi tó yẹ ká máa gbé lárugẹ. Nítorí ẹ̀ la ṣe wá ń pè yín. Bí kẹ̀jẹ́ àjọ celebrate ká jubilate ká dẹ̀ congratulate ara wa. Títí ayẹyẹ 50 ọdún ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo léyìí tó fẹ́ wáyé yìí. Èyí iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti iléeṣẹ́ kéréje. Oníṣòwò, oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, ilé ìwé, ilé ìjọsìn. Gbogbo union clubs associations ẹ̀yin ọba ẹ̀yin ìjòyè. Àti gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ fi bẹ̀ ṣe bí ìjòkó. Ó yá ẹ jẹ́ àjọ kíra wa. Ká kí gómìnà, ká kí igbákejì, ká kí sínétọ̀, ká kí MHR, MHA. Àti gbogbo àwọn tó di ipò pàtàkì mú. Ká pè wọ́n, ká kí wọn. OSRC television Orange 94.5 FM àti 96.5 FM alálàyé. Owó díẹ̀ la ó gbà lọ́wọ́ yín o. Torí àjọ ń ṣe ayẹyẹ náà ni. Ìgbìmọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ OSRC Media Group ló ń pè wá. Àmàkù àṣeyẹ 50 ọdún o típínlẹ̀ Ondo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kò síbi tí mo wà tí mo jẹ́ gbàgbé o. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo tiwa ni o.
Thank you for joining us. You can watch us live on our digital channel, Moblex 720, and on our website www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel on Osrc TV Ondo. Moving on, Ondo State has earned its pride of place as the Sunshine State, and the week-long celebration marking its anniversary attracted dignitaries from far and near, including the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, alongside other notable personalities. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, while congratulating the people of the state, reassured residents of the government's commitment to ensuring that the next chapter of Ondo State's journey is even more remarkable. Omoriola Ngweji reports.
From political leaders and traditional rulers to captain of industries, religious leaders and sons and daughters of Ondo State, thousands gathered to celebrate the Golden Jubilee.
In terms of human capacity, in terms of industrialization, in terms of innovation, in terms of abolition of poverty, inequality, in terms of reducing unemployment, youth unemployment to the barest minimum. These are good. We want to be the human capital, human capacity capital of Nigeria, industrial capital of this nation.
The atmosphere reflected a shared pride in Ondo State's journey so far and a renewed hope for a more prosperous future.
As the governor, in time of a king and a priest, hope of a new order, on behalf of my people, to confess and pray repentance for the sins and failures, the misrule and the mismanagement of our state.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa thanked God for the journey so far and commended the resilience of the people in sustaining peace and promoting progress in the state, which he noted is richly endowed with abundant natural resources.
To our workers, entrepreneurs, farmers, artisans, professionals, and investors, we affirm our commitment to building an enabling environment where diligence is rewarded, innovation is supported, and talent is allowed to flourish without any form of hindrance.
While acknowledging the efforts of the founding fathers and mothers, as well as other key stakeholders whose sacrifices, foresight, and faith laid the foundation of the state, the governor called for honesty, unity, and courage as Ondo State builds for the next 50 years.
My dear people of Ondo State, 50 years ago, Ondo State was an idea and a vision rooted in hope. Today, it is a living, breathing reality. And tomorrow, by the grace of God and the unity of our people, Ondo State shall stand even taller as a beacon of excellence, stability, and progress among the committee of states in our great country, Nigeria.
Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji described the Golden Jubilee as a remarkable milestone in Ondo State's history and pledged a more robust relationship between the two states for growth.
We are so proud of the development strides that Ondo State has achieved. And we are grateful to all the former governors of this state that have served Ondo State. But I must place on record my gratitude and appreciation to my brother, the governor of Ondo State, for doing a very great job in Ondo State.
In his remarks, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, commended the resilience, industriousness, and civic responsibility of the people of Ondo State since its creation. Acknowledging the state's rich culture and traditions, the president called for deeper unity, stronger democracy, and expanded opportunities for all citizens to accelerate growth and development.
The federal government under the renewable agenda remains committed to supporting Ondo State in harnessing these opportunities, improving infrastructure, strengthening security, and empowering community, ensuring that every citizen benefits from growth and development. To the youth of Ondo State, I send a special message. You are granted for the next 50 years. Your energy, innovation, education, and commitment to service are vital to sustaining the state's development.
The Golden Jubilee celebration is not just a moment of festivity, but an opportunity to reflect on the past, assess the present, and chart a bold new course for the future. Omoriola Mugbuji, Osrc News.
And the prominent indigene of Ondo State and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Olumuyiwa Adu, has rallied supporters to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the creation of Ondo State. The rally is part of activities marking 5 decades of the state's existence, celebrating its journey, achievements, and aspirations for the future. Our reporter, Joy Pius, has details.
In the spirit of celebration and unity, supporters of the All Progressives Congress converged for a rally to mark the 50th anniversary of Ondo State. The rally, organized by a prominent indigene of the state and APC stalwart, Olumuyiwa Adu, attracted party faithful, youths, women groups, and community stakeholders who gathered to celebrate Ondo State's journey over the past 5 decades. Supporters dressed in party colors and branded outfits marched through designated routes, carrying placards with messages of unity, development, and sustained progress for the Sunshine State. Addressing the gathering, the APC leader commended the contributions of past and present administrations to the growth of Ondo State, noting that the 50th anniversary offers an opportunity to consolidate on the gains recorded so far. He also called on residents to continue supporting policies and programs aimed at driving development across key sectors of the state.
We are in a government that cares for the development of the state in all ramifications. Number 2, some of us are alive to witness the 50th birthday. So that's enough for us to be here. So we have seen the governor, who's our leader, with his management team, executive team members, supported by members of a formidable and respectable House of Assembly. We are now seeing things. What remains is for us to continue to support him in our prayers.
The rally further served as a platform to promote peaceful coexistence, unity, and active political participation as Ondo State reflects on its past and looks ahead to a more prosperous future.
For the good things, for the relative peace, for what we are witnessing now, a monumental development under our able government. So there's a call, a cause to celebrate.
That we'll be able to witness Ondo State, I think that means these 50 years of greatness, 50 years of development, 50 years of promotion, and a lot of things that God has been helping Ondo State. We really appreciate, and I'm so happy as an individual, and as a state, we are so happy.
Ondo State is forging ahead and is moving forward. We are witnessing rapid development through our East Governor, Honorable Dr. Lokiorimi Sanyedatiwa. And I pray that before his expiration of his tenure in office, Ondo State is going to witness more development.
God
He continues to give us good leaders like Dr. Orimis Ayedatiwa, because his inception as a governor of Ondo State, he has been doing so wonderful things, for his day one of his government.
As Ondo State marks 50 years of its creation, stakeholders say the Golden Jubilee provides a moment to celebrate achievements, renew collective commitment, and strengthen hope for greater progress in the decades ahead. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
On the national scene, the Department of State Services has arraigned former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, on 5-count charges of terrorism financing and aiding and abetting terrorism and illegal possession of firearms. Both Malami and his son were jointly charged on the counts 2 to 5 for unlawful possession of firearms. They pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The case was adjourned to February 20 for a hearing on the bail application and commencement of the trial. And that's it on the news. But before we go, another look at the major story. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has celebrated the state's 50-year journey of growth and development while pledging renewed commitment to accelerated progress. And we told you that President Bola Tinubu and other prominent leaders have commended Ondo State's resilience, urging unity and collective purpose as the state marks its golden jubilee. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.